that should do it. Those are the legs. This is the other stuff. Got burned out because of these actuators. We are now back to the shiatsu motor cutting out in the middle of the sequence. We get to take this all apart and basically start all over. No, this is wrong. Horrible. 79 cents sounds like my price. So I picked up this outlet cover today. I'm going to use that as the template to cut my top here and then cut my piece of this material and that I've used for the base here. And what I've decided to do here with the extra outlet is this one is going to go to flash the light, regular light bulb that'll be connected to this. And I'm going to use an LED light bulb to try and prevent the bulb from burning out quickly. I know it's kind of silly and I could just wire up some LEDs in there, but this might be simpler and it's going to give me a bunch of light like I talked about in the last video, and I'll try to cut the plastic so it looks like ribs. And what I decided to do with this other outlet, as odd as this may sound, is I'm going to break these tabs off here and here so that this is a separate plug and this is a separate, and they're not sharing grounds or anything. And I'm going to wire 12 volts to this and then wire up a plug and run it to some LEDs, maybe just one or two, and have a heartbeat simulated. So we'll have a little red LED pulsing for the heartbeat shining through the clothes. So I don't know, we'll see how that comes out. That'll be something like that, I guess. So as long as my piece is smaller than that right inside of here, I should be okay. There you go. I need to carry this power over here. People saw me struggling with my wire strippers in the last video. I do actually have other wire strippers. I just don't, they work a lot better. I just don't like them because of, it's hard for me to see the it's hard for me to see the little notches in the thing. They do work a ton better than the red ones though, than these. So these two will go to my outlets, and this will jump our power over from the existing input over here. We also need a little jumper too. Gotta make that. Did I forget to break the tabs off of this before I installed it? I sure did. Genius. Power comes in here, gets switched here by the relay, and comes out to the plug. I'm going to do the same thing on this relay here. Need a jumper again to jump the ground between the two plugs from here to here. Previously I did wire the two Arduinos together here to here, so they are connected. I should be done with the Arduino wiring, and actually the relay wiring I should be all set on now. I just got to wire up these plugs. Got that insulating board under there, so that's okay. I don't really see this touching on anything over here. There's so much stuff on it, it should be all right. So that should do it. There is our control box. Audio output, left leg, right leg, PIR sensor, power in, well, not necessarily in that order, and the shiatsu motor. Holy cow. And up here we have a strobe light, beacon, a flashing light in the chest, and whatever I'm doing with this last one, which I thought I might do a heartbeat to an LED, but I wired it up for 110, so can't do that unless I just wire up a wall wart in there and plug it in and run the AC power that way. I suppose it might be a good time to test and see if this stuff is working right. All that looks all right. Let's hook up the PIR and see what happens before we put AC power on this. Okay. That's supposed to be the heartbeat. Those are the legs. This is the other stuff. Seems to be working. My God, listen to this thing. That may need some fine tuning. Well, what the hell? Let's see what happens. Well, the legs are working correctly, so I know that much is right. Okay, so one problem has developed here. On the right leg, the LED is burned out, and Dave AVD was talking to me about this in the comments, and I thought maybe just the LED was bad to start with. We had a bad LED in the last video on the other leg, and this one. That one's working now, but this one's now bad, and I think it got burned out because of these actuators. I do have diodes that I need to put in and ensure the current only goes one direction, and I think it's not happening here. It's going in and these motors are firing, and there's inductive current going backwards through the circuit, which is burning out the LEDs. So I need to take the legs apart and wire in those diodes to stop this from happening, and now I've got to replace this LED. Live and learn. Well, we seem to have developed some problems again with this. We are now back to the shiatsu motor cutting out in the middle of the sequence. Right there, the whole circuit just died. So we're back to that again. Yep, good times, huh? So, maybe the solution is to take all of that shit out of that little tiny box, get a really big box, and start over, because I have just about had it with this project and I am sick of fooling with it. Those relay cycles may be too short or something, I don't know. So, more fun with this. Failing, we're back to that, which was, I don't know how many videos ago we solved that problem, but I don't know. Okay, so right here, we're looking at a capacitor that I added in across the positive and negative power coming, well, as close to as possible to the incoming power to the Arduino board, which is down in this area here. And I did this on the recommendation from Dave ABD. Now, he recommended that I use a 100 microfarad capacitor. I don't have one. This is the closest I had. It's a 220 microfarad. I believe it's 25 volts it's rated at. And the purpose of this is to try to alleviate the shiatsu motor and all this AC current resetting these Arduino boards, and it did absolutely nothing. So after reading about inductive current, I'm getting the impression that all of this AC current so close to these microcontrollers is causing problems, and it's even worse now that I've added these additional plugs here. It's just doesn't work. Anytime I plug anything into any of this, these boards start resetting. So one of the solutions, or there was just a myriad of things involving ferrite cores and just a whole bunch of things. Resistors, some people are talking about a 0.1 microfarad with a 220 resistor. Just a bunch of things that I don't really know enough to do. So what I've decided to do is to take this stuff and take it out of this box. So it's all coming out of here, and it's going to go onto a piece of plywood, and we're going to put in longer wires between these Arduino boards and these relays to get this AC stuff away from the microcontrollers. And I'm hopeful that that fixes the problem. And if it doesn't, then guys, I don't know what to do with this thing. I put so much time into it now. At this point, I really hate to junk it, but if I can't get these controllers working, it's really rather pointless. And I think I'll just go back to my old controller that I had, which was just a sound activated machine. It just pumped out 110 volts AC in response to sound, and I'll just wire everything up to 110 and just let it do its thing. I really would much rather use this stuff, but obviously if it's going to fail, I'm not going to do it, or I can't do it. So that's where we're at, and we get to take this all apart and basically start all over. This thing, just it. Sick of it. I don't even want to fool with it anymore. I hate it.